What's going on, everybody? Jeff back with another video for you. And today we got some more Battlefield 3 training, so let's get right into it here. Alrighty, just before we get into it real quick, I just want to say that there's some news on the Battlefield 3 beta. I saw on Dcru Colin's YouTube page, he put up a video, and I believe he also posted it to Next Gen Tactics, so if you're a subscriber of either one of those videos, you might want to check it out. Basically just some information about the beta. Most important thing here that's important for me, there's no NDA for the beta like there was for the alpha. The alpha, you didn't have to sign anything, but to sign up to play it and to download the thing, you had to agree for a full NDA. No gameplay videos, and you can't really talk about it. I mean, you can talk about things that are going to be the obvious, but not publicly. Like I wouldn't be able to do it on my YouTube channel. Obviously, you're going to talk to your friends about it and stuff like that, but you can't make it publicly made like that. There's an NDA, which is understandable. I completely expected it. It didn't surprise me when they told me that when I was signing up to, when I was downloading the software. But at the same time, I was kind of like, oh, that's a bummer. That would have been cool to post up some alpha footage, but people leaked it. I mean, listen, that's not something that I'm gonna do. People make their own decisions. That's not that's not the type of thing I do. But the beta, on the other hand, no worries. We'll be able to post content from that, so that should be fine. I have a beta key from buying Medal of Honor. I don't have it for the PC. I'm gonna see if I can pick up a copy of Medal of Honor at Best Buy or something, and simply for the beta key, so that I can get so I can play the beta on the PC as well, because I have Medal of Honor for PS3. So I'll be able to play it, no problem, but of course I wouldn't mind playing it on the PC and PS3. So hopefully I'll be able to get two, or even find a copy of Medal of Honor. But anyway, let's get into the weapon here. So we're doing the M416, which is a automatic assault rifle, full auto, and it is the second to last assault rifle that you unlock through the assault kit. There are two other rifles that you unlock, but they're separate of the assault kit. They go on levels. So right after the AN-94, like I said, we've been doing the videos in order, so you guys can probably guess, right after the AN-94, right before the M16. Pretty standard 30-round clip. It's got its own unique recoil that's not too hard to manage once you get used to it. So now, obviously, you can take any attachment that the assault rifles can put on. Now, here's the thing with the attachments. You have whatever attachments you want, and you can run whatever you want, and that's the whole thing about it, to customize it. But I believe that each weapon has a sweet spot. Not necessarily just to do with the weapon, or just to do with the person using it, but both. How each weapon uses each attachment. So like a red dot sight, I'm using a red dot sight here on the M416 because I think the iron sights are a little bit not ideal. I'm not crazy about them. I don't like iron sights that have a crosshair and then like a loop over the top of it. This has this, and the AEK had that. That's why I don't like the iron sights on them. I don't find these as bad, but I'm not crazy about them. So I like the red dot sight, but for instance on the XM8, I actually don't like the red dot sight. I prefer the iron sights to the red dot sight on the XM8. So for this weapon here, I suggest what worked out best for me was a red dot scope or the 4x scope. Either one's fine. And for the weapon spec, I suggest the MMN AR or the steady aim like specialization. And the reason why I suggest that is I actually I wasn't crazy about this weapon the first time around. Now on my main account, J-Man Espresso, the one when I had started playing Bad Company 2 on, I almost like completely skipped over the M416. I unlocked it, I tried it for like 3 kills, and then put it away and took the AN-94 back out. So I like completely skipped over this weapon. So when I unlocked it, I was like, oh yeah, that weapon too. Like I was like, what's after the AN-94? And it just took me a while to get used to this weapon. I wasn't able to just pick it up and use it because I didn't have any idea how it worked, how it moved, how everything like that. So I find that the recoil on this weapon is probably the most of a pain in the neck compared to all the other assault rifles, in that it just moves around a lot, but it does steady out. So this weapon, like the AUG, benefits from a longer pulse. So instead of doing quick bursts like you would do with the AN-94, or like you would do with the F-2000 or the XM8, do a longer burst, 3 or 4 seconds, then let up. Now, all assault rifles have to be burst fired if you expect to be dropping your targets anything other than, right in their face. You lose almost all accuracy just firing in full auto if they're any distance away from you. So always be burst firing your assault rifles. Just, you'll need to find out which assault rifle likes what type of burst. And that's what these videos are for, to help you find out, to help you have an easier time with the weapon. So this one's definitely similar to the AUG. You want a longer burst with it. And I also find that if with a smaller burst, if you're just doing quicker bursts, it's quite tricky, because the accuracy drops off dramatically because of the jumpy recoil. Now, if you do a longer burst, you almost don't realize how bad the recoil is, because it levels right out and it's no problem. But if you're doing quick bursts, the weapon's jumping all around on you. So you'll see here, a lot of times I'm not doing a longer pulse, something that I have a bad habit. I prefer the weapons that have a shorter pulse. That's how I naturally want to fire. So this is why this weapon was a little harder for me to adjust to. But as you can see, it can be done. Once you use it, you just get used to it, and it's no problem. So I do suggest one of the optical sights for this weapon, just because I think you'll have an easier time keeping on target with the recoil and the way the iron sights are. But give it a shot. See if you like the iron sights. I see a lot of people using this weapon online. It's one of the most popular weapons I see people using. So, give them a shot. Now, I mean, maybe it's just because Bad Company 2 is almost done for, and Battlefield 3 is coming out, and everybody's trying to get their platinum on all their weapons, and they're just using this one now. Or maybe it's because they like it. I mean, I do see it quite often. So it's definitely a pretty well-liked weapon as far as the Battlefield community goes. So, give it a shot. See what you think. As far as the underbarrel, I don't really choose those on a buy weapon basis. I choose those on a buy situation basis. And I usually go with the shotgun. Sometimes I'll go with the grenade launcher, but very rarely. Maybe in squad deathmatch, but that's about it. Usually, like, if I don't want to run the engineer kit, but I still want to have some explosives, then I'll throw the grenade launcher on, but it's rare. Usually I'm running the shotgun or the smoke. Depends on if my team's working in rush or if they're just sitting back. So towards the end here, I kind of go on a nice little streak and take out a couple guys right in a row. And, that was good. I was happy about that. It's definitely a good weapon. If you find yourself struggling with it, change up what you're putting on there. If you find yourself struggling with the red dot, take the red dot off. That's what I like to do when I find myself struggling with a weapon, whether or not it's a weapon I've used a lot or a little. Just change something on it. Change your specialization. Change to magnum ammo from the assault rifle training. Change to a scope. I mean, just change one thing, and then after a couple times, you've changed a few things, you find they're not working for you. Alright, so use a different weapon then. There's a whole variety of weapons for you to choose from, so you don't have to use all the weapons. But if you pick up this weapon and you like it, I think it's going to be a great weapon for anybody to use that does jive with it on the first time, because it's a solid weapon, and I mean, that's really all there is to it. So coming up next, we have the M16A2. I know you guys have been looking forward to that one, so that should be out in a day or two. And yeah, that's about it. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, leave a comment down in the section, and rate the video if you liked it. Alrighty guys, I'll see you later. Take care.